Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Pacers beat the Knicks 130-121 to take a 3-1 series lead. They head back to MSG, advanced to their first NBA Finals since 2000. The first player in NBA history with a triple-double and 0 turnovers in a conference finals, Tyrese Haliburton. We talked about Ocho the other night. He needed to be more aggressive. That was not aggressive what he had the other night.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, he had 15 in the first quarter. He had 20 in the first half. I say, now this is the Tyrese Haliburton that I wanted to see in game 3. But it doesn't matter. He showed up tonight. 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds, 0 turnover. Pascal Siakam said, ain't no fun if I can't have none. Man, hey, let me come to the party too. 30 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. He was 11 of 21 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the three-point line, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Hey, Miles Turner, he had 13, but Mathurin played his best game in a long, long time. In only 12 minutes, 5 of 8 from the floor, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, 20 big points. Ocho, we talked the other night also, Joe, you weren't on. I said, Ocho, look, they only had 4 guys in double figures. They had 5 tonight. And see, that team, 16, 13. But you got 32 from Haliburton, you got 30 from Siakam, and you got 20 from Mathurin. And that was enough to overcome the 31 points that Jalen Brunson had. Cat had another big game again, 24 points, 12 rebounds. OG had 22. Mikal Bridges had 17. Josh Hart off the bench was 12 and 11, but it was not enough. The Pacers basically lead from start to finish, and they just have that ability to, like, when the game get close, to take off and make it double digit again.
Yeah.
Joe, what did you like about what the Pacers did tonight?
Man, Ocho, it seemed like the Pacers understood the assignment, especially Haliburton, Siakam. You know, them dudes came out, Nate Smith, they came out and set the tone early. You know what I mean? They got off to a pretty good start. I thought Cat getting in foul trouble early, hurt the Knicks, but you get Mathurin coming off the bench playing the way he played tonight. He hadn't played well this series.
He has not.
This was a great coming out party for him. He was aggressive. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all another thing I like about Mathurin. He a little borderline dirty.
Oh, yeah.
He a little borderline dirty out there. Hey, but I love it though, Unc and Ocho. You know what I mean? Because for the Pacers, they got a lot of dogs over there, man. He came off that bench and he gave them everything that they needed. I thought his energy, effort, carried over throughout the whole entire game. And Haliburton was unbelievable. I mean, the triple, not just an average triple-double. That's a big dog triple-double.
It was, know
what I mean?
No turnovers. That's a 15 assists and no turnovers.
Yeah.
And if he got 15 assists, that means he's helping other guys get off.
Get easy buckets. Yep.
You know what I mean? So that means he had plenty of help tonight. I thought he got off to a great start. He was very aggressive today in game 4 versus
game 3.
Last game 3. So I'm sure he heard you guys. You know what I mean? He came out with it on his mind, and ultimately he controlled the game from start to finish.
He's like, hey, I got Pops back. They freed Pops. Pops was incarcerated. He had Ocho, he had to spend 8 days in the county. And so, they got him up out the county. And so now you saw what he did. He was asked after the game whether having his dad back in the building helped him in game 4. Hell yeah. Aaron Nesmith, remember the other night, Nesmith and Nembhard, they didn't play well. Both of those guys were in single digits. Now you get Aaron Nesmith. He gave you 16 big points. And when you combine, because they're killing the Knicks off the bench. You got Mathurin had 20. That's 20, let's see, 8, 10, that's 30. They got 36 points off the bench tonight. When you combine the 36 points off the bench and you got a 32-point performance from Tyrese Haliburton, you got a 30-point performance from Pascal Siakam, that's 62 points right there from your big guns. And you got 36 off the bench. So now if my starters give me anything, I got 16 from Nate Smith. I got 13 from Miles Turner. Now, you really needed to have Jalen Brunson and Cat to have one of those 43-point, 36-point game to try to overcome what the Pacers do collectively. Ocho, the Knicks' fault. I mean, they got it down, they cut it down, they got it down to like 5. But then again, the Pacers could just run away with it.
Listen,
what do you think happened with the Knicks this game? Because it seemed like they came out, tried to keep it close for as long as they could, but it just seemed like they don't have that gear that the Pacers have.
They don't have the gear, and they also don't have the consistency off the bench. Jalen Brunson has to be on point. Cat, you got to stop with the dumb fouls. You know, I'm looking at Cat. You grabbing people's arm. You down there wrestling in the paint instead of you sitting there wrestling in the paint with your arm in the air. Just reset your arm, man. Just reset your arm. Unnecessary fouls are being called. The first 3 quarters, they did. Let's talk about the first half. Nick did what they could to keep the game close.
Yep.
But towards the end of each quarter, not only are the Knicks losing in transition towards the end of each quarter in the first half, the goddamn Pacers going to goddamn run, Joe. Going to run in the goddamn quarter. Third quarter, same thing. In the third quarter, the goddamn Pacers. They try to keep it close. Pacers going to goddamn run in the goddamn quarter. And in the fourth, they did what they needed to do. But that goddamn Haliburton, now we just had a conversation last night, Joe. You know, we talked about superstars versus star. And my dumb ass had the nerve to say he's not in the conversation with the superstars in the league. Based on tonight's performance, now I know it's just one game, but he's been very consistent in his play throughout the whole season, not just what we saw from the night. But I think we need to have a conversation again about Haliburton being a superstar and not just a star. I called him just a star last night. And man, listen, what he was able to do tonight, man, Siakam, that goddamn Nimhard, you know, he contributed as well. Stretched the goddamn New York defense, making it easy for everybody else offensively for the Pacers to be able to shoot their shot. Man,
we talked about Pascal Siakam in game 2. He had 39 big points, and then he come up a little small in game 3. And he's like, nah, Pascal. Now, I'm not asking you to go get 39, but I will take 31. But he played. He was aggressive. He was aggressive tonight, and that's what the Pacers need. First of all, your 2 best players need to carry you. It's really as simple as that. And then whatever we get from the Neesmiths, whatever we get from the Nimhard, the Matt Burns, the Miles Turner, but your 2 best players got to do the heavy lifting. When the Lakers, it was Kobe and Shaq doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Robert Horry chipped in. Derek Fisher chipped in. Rick Fox chipped in. They had a lot of guys chipping in. But your 2 guns got to fire. When you talking about the Heat, just a second, Ocho. We talk about the Heat. It was D-Wade and LeBron for the most part. And then we go get Chris Bosh go chip in. Then we go get Mike Miller helping out. We'll get, you know what? Hey, Rio, give us one of them 20-point games. We need that right now. But your big guns need to fire more time than often. And again, in this ball game, that's what happened. Go ahead, Ocho.
You know, Joe, I got a question for you, and I got a question for you too, and those in the chat that understand the game of basketball. How come Pascal Siakam and Haliburton could look the way they did tonight, understanding that we both have to play well, we both have to be aggressive. That's the top 2 guns. And then we watch the goddamn Wolves last night, and Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards understanding they need to have games similar to what Pascal and goddamn Haliburton had tonight. Why is it much easier, or it seems much easier, for Siakam and Haliburton to do what they did tonight as opposed to Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle? Are we saying is the Knicks that soft or that easier of an opponent as opposed to the goddamn Thunder, where it seems Anthony Edwards and goddamn Julius Randle to do what they do? And I don't know. Obviously, I know everybody gets paid to play the game, but when I think about Anthony Edwards, as great as he is, he should be able to do what Haliburton did tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, especially Anthony Edwards, because they corralling and trapping him so much, making him give up the ball, he got to pick his spots a lot faster, Unc and Ocho. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, once you get a crease, you got to go on the task because they sitting. One thing they not going to do, they not going to let him play. So, yep, he making the right play. He getting off the ball. He getting other guys involved, but they doing what they want as far as holding him to where he's not that effective offensively, to where he's not exploding. Okay, cool. If McDaniel's gonna beat us, we're gonna let him beat us. If these other guys gonna beat us, we're gonna let them. But we're not gonna let you play this series. But back to the Knicks and Pacers, I think the pace is just it was too fast for the Knicks to start the game.
1-1.
they can't keep up with that pace, man. They look good that first half, that first quarter, second quarter, but I knew at some point it would catch up to them. And to start the third quarter, they come out here just careless mistakes that the Pacers made them pay for. They went on 13-0 run that quick. Next thing you know, now they're in an uphill climb. Well, they don't have that type of firepower to really fight back. I know, the home team hasn't played great in this series, but I just felt like the Pacers understood, man. They were aggressive from the start, and they knew what was at stake. They knew they couldn't go back to New York with no tied up series. So they played like it tonight. Hey, look, we got to give Naismith a lot of credit too, man. I know we all done dealt with injuries throughout our career, and when you roll that ankle and the side of that ankle sit on their flow like that, hey man, that's tough to come. That's tough to compete with. You know what I mean? I don't know if they shot him up, but I thought he got off to a great start, Unc and Ocho, to start the game. I thought his defense was great. His defense was great on Brunson. He made shots, and he was still active. He was still active on both ends. Man, the Pacers look good tonight, guys. They look good. They look like a team who's prepared to, kind of finish this series off. And I just loved everything about it tonight.
I agree.
Hey,
Go ahead, Ocho.
Now, you think about the length and how good, obviously I'm assuming, well, I'm not sure that the Knicks can come back and win this series. How good and lengthy the defense is for the Thunder. Do you still think they'll be able to have the game of basketball, the game of runs, the transition, the second chance points as they had against the Knicks, against the Thunder, being that I think they're better suited?
The Thunder match up better. The Thunder match up better because the Thunder got wing defenders. You got Caruso, you got Dort, you got Jalen Williams, you got Wiggins. Right. They match up much better.
So much better. Okay, that's right. So that answers my question. That answers my question again. That's why Haliburton and goddamn Pascal Siakam look the way they do against the Knicks, because it's somewhat of a lopsided matchup for them defensively.
Okay. Well, I think also here's the thing: the what OKC is doing, they're not allowing Anthony Edwards to play 1-on-1. If you want to play 2-on-1, have at it. But you're not going to play 1-on-1. But if you go back and look at what Shea is doing, they're letting him play 1-on-1. They're letting him go. McDaniels, you got it. You're our best defender. You take it 1-on-1. Bro, he's the MVP for a reason. He had the most 20, 30, 40, 50-point games this year. So you're allowing their best player, and the really great players all can play 1-on-1. You better not let them play 1-on-1, and you better not let them get a rhythm early. Because if you let them get a rhythm early, I don't care what you do to them late, you can't bother them. So they're already in the rhythm. Now, you see, they don't look at Haliburton as a superstar, so they're going to let him play 1-on-1. They're going to try to trap they didn't do a good enough job of getting the ball.
A few times.
They tried to trap him sometimes, but you see how he getting that three? He let the three ball go. He had 12 three-point attempts. Now you got to push up on him. Now he has the ability to get, you see how he got to the rim?
Go right by you. Mm-hmm.
So you got to give up something. And because he had those assists, guys were knocking down shots. So they were a lot more reluctant. Because remember the other night, Ocho, they were 5 of 25 from the three. Mm-hmm. Tonight, they were 13 of 32. So that's 40% versus 20%. 20%. So you see the big difference in that, because now not only is he aggressive looking for his shot, when they bring it, he knows where they're coming from. Now he's kicking and guys getting wide open look threes. He did an unbelievable job tonight of running this offense. Guys did a great job of knocking down shots. This is what you go get a Pascal Siakam for. This is what and this is what you bench. Your role players, you're at home, you're expected to play well. Teammate TJ McConnell, hey, I know he's gonna give you 3, he's gonna give you 6, he's gonna play hard. He's gonna make the plays that's presented to him. But Pascal Siakam, 31 points, 5 rebounds, 3 or 4 from the 3-point line. Only Reggie Miller and Paul George have more 30.5 rebound playoff games as a Pacer. They really, really, really needed that tonight. They needed Pascal Siakam. Because you remember when they started making that run, it was him that came back in and hit that big 3, guys. Remember that big 3?
Yeah.
And it pushed the lead right back to 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder, when I'm watching, I'm like, I wonder why Pacers still selling for all these long threes. You up almost You up 7. Why you keep shooting it? They shot like 3 threes in a row. I'm like, man, y'all got to get to the cup, man. Put the pressure on these
and
boys.
they in foul trouble. And I know the play you talking about. They were up 13, and Haliburton came down the court and shot a 29-footer. Yeah. Haliburton was saying, I'm going to break y'all back right now.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He trying to go and get him out of there. But, Mathurin was playing good. He was feeling good. He shot, I thought, what was an unill-advised shot in the corner, because they had the lead. All they got to do is take their time now. Keep putting pressure on these dudes because they all in foul trouble and they don't want to foul. So just keep attacking.
And you're already in the penalty. You got them in the penalty.
Yeah.
So there's really no need to shoot a three. Get something going to the back. Now, I saw a lot of times they call some ticky-tack stuff, and then there's sometimes they let them play football. I was like, well, damn.
Man. Hey, it's physical out there.
It seemed like the ref they pick and choose based on the momentum and what the game is at the time, when to let them play.
Yeah.
If you think about it, when you think about the game of football, hell, the goddamn refs can call the goddamn flag on every play.
Yeah.
Or every single play if you wanted to be technical. So in basketball, you could tell exactly when the refs are letting them boys play, on both ends of the court.
Yeah, I think. Hey, look. To me, this the best series.
No, it's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, this is so competitive. You don't know who's gonna win because the home teams hadn't been playing great, and the Pacers came out tonight. Like I said, with it on their mind, knowing that ain't no way we can go back to New York with this series tied 2-2.
Obi Toppin hit a big 3 too. Obi Toppin hit that 3 because it was laid out of Haliburton found him. He stepped back behind the 3-point line, let it go, shot it with confidence, and hit that 3. I was like, okay, now.
Yeah. They very active on defense too, fellas. You know what I mean? Like they getting steals, they in the passing lane, they just wrecking havoc, throughout the whole game. Even when the Knicks come down and score, they still fast.
Yeah,
breaking.
oh yeah.
The Pacers they beating them back down the court. I'm like, what the Knicks doing? See, it's such a frantic pace that the Knicks have a hard time keeping up, so they have to try to find a spot where they can rest, and you can't rest on offense.
Because they're looking to push the ball, Joe, make or miss. They'll take it out the net and push it, or they'll get it off the glass and push it. But one way or another, they're going to push the tempo, and that's what. And when you're not used to playing, because look, a lot of times, they want they get that ball, they get to the head. As soon as they possibly can, and you see what you call him is doing. He's trying to play more guys now. He knows his guys are playing at that frenetic pace, and it's not conducive for playing a lot of minutes. You look at him now; he normally plays 7 guys. He played about. I'm not counting Princess Achua, the 2 minutes he played. He played 9 guys tonight. You see the difference. You see now that pace is like, and only OG played 40 minutes. Normally, Mikal Bridges playing 43 minutes. Jalen Brunson playing 39 to 41 minutes. You see the difference in the ball. Tim knows this pace and me grinding these guys, 9 guys, and trying to play 40-plus minutes is really not conducive because the Pacers play. They're going to play 8, 9, 10 guys. That's who they are. Yeah. That's what they've been all year. There's no reason for them to deviate from that. But I thought tonight they came out on a mission. They did not want to go back 2-2 to Madison Square Garden because now we really, really have an effing series. And they say, you know what? Yeah. Now, if the mindset you got to have, I'm trying to end it. I'm trying to end it in MSG. I don't want to come back. I know everybody, they want to do it in front of my home crowd. Celebrate, go to the arena. I don't know what the arena is called. Go there. We put it up on the big Jumbotron, and y'all can watch it and celebrate. But no, I'm trying to end this thing today? Thursday. I think they play Thursday. So I'm trying to end it Thursday.
Yeah, I don't know who the Pacers strength and conditioning coach is, but he need an extra little chunk.
He need a bump in pay.
Yeah, he need to bump his pay because they basically a 4x1 team. The starters go in there, they the first leg. Then the bench, the bench come in, they the second leg.
All of them build alike. Siakam, Haliburton, they all build alike. Miles Turner, they long and angular.
And they up and down.
They ain't got no heavy set guys, no big body guys.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know who their GM is, but he does a great job. Guys that need to fit. We need guys that can. And the thing is that you look at Siakam. He can defend. Neesmith, he's there to defend. Miles Turner can protect the paint. Nembhard can defend. Matburn, he can defend. So they got guys, and they got a high flyer at Obi Toppin coming off the bench. TJ McConnell is a pest. He's going to give you everything that he got. And like I said, they really needed this because Matt Burton has not been playing. Remember, he got kicked out of the game in Cleveland with the low blow. I think who was that on? Oh, it was on the guy they got from Atlanta, Hunter.
Oh yeah,
Hunter. And so he got kicked out of the game. So he really hadn't had a rhythm, but he had 11 free throw attempts off the bench. That lets you know he's extremely, and he only played 12 minutes. That tells me he's extremely aggressive. He's looking to get to the cup. He's like, man, my shot ain't falling. Let me get something easy.
Yeah. Hey, look like somebody was in his ear and told him, hey, look, man, we need you to come out here, put your head down, go to work. And he did that. Like I say, hey, Ocho, not borderline. Boy, he dirty. He dirty. Hey, but I love it though. Hey, he can play on my team any day. You hear me?
When you say dirty, you mean dirty like Draymond?
He ain't trying to hurt nobody, but he ain't trying to help nobody up either.
Now he gonna slam you to the floor and then help you up at the same time. You all right? All right, let me help you. Let me get. Hey, he one of them. Hey, them the worst dudes to play against because boy, they know what they doing out there.
He doesn't back down. He does not back down. He doesn't matter who the superstar is, who the player he's going against. He feels he belongs on the court and he's going to play accordingly. So it doesn't matter if it's LeBron, if it's Kevin Durant, or whomever he has to guard. It does not matter to him. He doesn't let your reputation dictate how he plays the game. And that's what you could appreciate about this young man. But I thought, they set the tempo early. Rick Carlisle has done a great job. You see the guys, Haliburton played 38 minutes. And he played the most minutes, but you got 18 minutes from Toppin. Bradley, Tony Bradley gave you 10 minutes. McConnell gave you 19. Mathburn gave you 12. Even Shepard gave you 14 minutes tonight.
Yeah. I think if Mathern plays like this off the bench, I don't know if he's gonna have 20 every night. He was only 5 for 8. I know he shot 11 free throws. They're gonna be a tough team to beat, Unc and Ocho. If he comes out and he competes like this from the rest of the series, man, the sky's the limit for the Pacers. Now you hope your big guns, continue to give you great production like they did. I don't know if they're gonna average 30, but they can be somewhere close to it. They got so many guys who can beat you. It's just tough to play against this Pacers team because they're so gritty defensively and offensively. They move the ball, they play the right way, and it's hard to key on one guy because you really don't know who's going to beat you.
You don't know. You never know because there's so many. I mean, like tonight, you get 32. You get 32 from Haliburton and you got 30 from Siakam. But normally, it's a guy in the 23 to 25, and you got 19, 17, 18, 16, 13, 12. You normally have 6 guys in double figure. High guy might have 23, low guy might have 12. But you got 6 guys in double figures. Right. And so when you don't know, well, who they going to get a ball to? The open guy. So who do we key on? You better pay attention to everybody because everybody is a lot. And see, it's great playing. Ocho, look. You and I, we were pretty much always the number 1 receiver, the number 2 receivers. But when you know that quarterback, you know what? Man, I know Ocho the guy, but they double Ocho, they're going to come to me. It's something in you that tells you man, I got a real chance to get this ball. Yeah. The Pacers, every last one of the Pacers, if you're on the court, they really believe they can get the ball.
Mm. You know why, though? You know why? Because that point guard, he's a pass-first point guard. He always Ocho, when you watch Haliburton play, Unc and Ocho, y'all watch him. When he get the rebound and he get the ball, the first thing goes up is his eyes. He's looking up the court because he's trying to see who's open. He gonna kick it ahead. He gonna make the right play every time. And then if it's not there, he gonna come down, run his pick and roll, or whatever you give him, he gonna take it. He shot some deep threes tonight. 2-3 feet behind. 2-3 feet behind the line. I was like, hold on. But when they go in, you like, okay.
Yeah.
You look at it, like I said, he got that Kevin Martin shot. It's not aesthetically pleasing. It's not a Steph Curry. It's not Dame. It's not all that road that. But and he's shooting so damn high. I'm like, sometimes the camera lose sight of the ball. I'm like, well, damn.
Hey, listen. Every time he shoot Unc and Ocho, just watch his follow through. When we say follow through, leave your elbow above your eyebrow. I don't care what it look like. How he get it up there, his follow-through is the same every time. Every time. So.
Hey, what's surprising too about Haliburton? We hear about what the players said, the so-called players, call them, kind of
overrated,
overrated, and then you watch what he's been able to do on his team from an individual standpoint, and you look at the game he had tonight, to be able to be as aggressive as he was for 4 quarters, to be efficient, to be able to facilitate, to get his teammates involved, also be able to score as well. Then the motherfucker had the nerve not to turn the damn ball over. Like a goddamn video game.
Yep.
This ain't 2K. This is actually real. This is real basketball against other elite players that get paid as well. And you damn near had not a perfect game, but shit, you damn near perfect as if it's a video game.
But he's not a turnover guy. If you go back, he's had a lot of 15 assists, no turnovers. He has a lot of double-digit assists and no turnovers, or low turnovers. He's not a heavy turnover guy. You know, sometimes guys might have 10 assists and have 6 turnovers. That's not him. He's more apt to have 10, 11 assists, 1 to 2 turnovers. If he gets 3, you're like, well, damn, Hallie, what's going on? But go ahead, Joe.
I think the most impressive thing, Ocho, is that, he didn't have no turnover, but to do that against the Knicks, who have long-rangey guys, defense, you know, that's impressive to play almost 40 minutes with 0 assists and have a big stat line. Yeah, that's impressive. But yes, I think Haliburton, even when he's not scoring the ball as well, he's still taking care of the rock and making sure he's facilitating for other guys. And tonight, he just kind of got it going. He had everything working. Going to the cup. He shot a couple mid-range jumpers. He shot them deep threes. Ocho, you can't double-team nobody like that because he got too many guys around him. And like I say, he's a willing passer. So that's what he wants. If you double-team, he's going to make the right play every time.
Hey, he's tall enough to see over it.
Hey, Unc and Joe, I don't mean to jump the gun like this, right? But as good as they are in transition, you know, especially offensively, up and down the court, and as good as the Thunder are offensively as well, the long, lengthy, especially defensively, it can be a struggle, like it's a struggle for Anthony and Julius. How do you see the matchup? And I hate to jump the gun and jumping ahead when that series is not over, but how do you see the series playing out against the Thunder and the Pacers?
Well,
hey, look, go ahead.
They look. The Thunder got 6 guys that are really, really, really good on the wing. You got Lou Dort, you got Jalen Williams, you got Wallace, you got Wiggins, you got Caruso, you got Isaiah Joe. You got 6 guys that can defend, that can slide 1 through 3. So we've seen what they've done to Ant-Man. We've seen what they've done to Jude Randle. We saw them basically play a boxing 1 and say, Caruso, you got Jokic. This team, they're more alike than not. Now, Pacers don't have a Shea. That's the difference. Shea, you let him play one-on-one, they don't have a defender that can deal with him. If you let him play one-on-one, and that's where the Timberwolves are messing up, because they believe McDaniels can deal with him, and he cannot. When a guy's in the MVP season and he's playing like he's playing, because guess what? He's always going to stay aggressive. At this point in time, he's chunked his efficiency out the window. I'm serious, Ocho. He's like, the hell with this efficiency. Dude shot 30. He got 40 points. He had 40 points, but it took him 30 shots. He said, I don't care. He said, you can't. We talked about it last night, Ocho. Only three things are going to happen when you're aggressive. You're going to make it, you're going to miss it, or you're going to get fouled.
Right.
Look how many times he went to the free throw line. So it would be a great matchup if it were to happen. I think it's over for the Wolves. I think that their series ends tomorrow. They're not going back to Minnesota. They're going back to Minnesota, but the Thunder will not be accompanying them. They're going back, but the Thunder's not coming with them. The Thunder's not going back to Minnesota until maybe October, November, December of next year, or this year. That's the next time you'll see the Thunder. I don't know if anybody lives. I don't know if any Thunder player is from the Minneapolis or Minnesota area, but they're not coming back. This series is going to end. Pacers got to be on their best behavior because the Knicks going to empty the tank on you. They're going to give you everything they got because, one game at a time. Hey, let's win this game and see what happens in Game 6. All I'm thinking about is Game 5.
Hold on, wait a minute now. It sounds like you have hope. Now I know I picked the Knicks to win the series, but the way things are looking, and I'm kind of jumping the gun and saying the series is over, but it sounds like you think the Knicks have a chance to come back.
Oh, they got a chance. Look, all the games have been close, Ocho. It's not like, it's not like the series on the other side, where it's a 40-point win, it's a 30-point win. We've only had one game that we were watching in the fourth quarter.
Right.
We've had one game in which we were watching in the fourth quarter. And that was last night. Other than that, Ocho, that game was over in the first half. All the game, the game was over midway through the third quarter. So there hasn't been any suspense, any drama, man, I don't know, man. This game could go either. No, that was last night, and that was like the last couple of minutes of the ball game. Yeah, because basically they kept them at bay. The Thunder kept them at bay for the entirety of the game. What you thinking, Ocho, about Joe? What you thinking about the defense for the Thunder versus this? If this were to be the matchup, Indiana and OKC.
Man, I'm probably I'm leaning more toward the Thunder because they got a lot of guys that, that offensively they can explode as well, but they're a little more polished, I think, Unc and Ocho than the Pacers. He may have threw his efficiency out the window. See, the one thing about him, he probably don't shoot the 3-ball well, Ocho, but he gonna get to the midi, man. He gonna shoot his midi all night long. You feel me? He gonna be able to stop that. Unless you're gonna double team him, but you ain't gonna double team him because he got too many guys who can score the ball as well. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard.
Who you put on him? Because you got to realize Shea's 6'7". So if you put Neesmith on him, he's going to be able to shoot over the top of him. You put Nembhard on him, he's going to be able to shoot over the top of him. You're probably if you probably going to start Siakam. You start Siakam and Miles Turner. Siakam probably will take Chet, and Miles Turner will take Hartenstein, and then
you gonna start Naismith. You're gonna probably start Naismith on him. But I think the Chet Holmgren and Siakam, that's gonna be a tough matchup for Holmgren.
Yeah,
because Siakam, he's more of a perimeter player. He's kind of slippery. When he plays, and I feel like that's going to give Holmgren, a few problems.
Yeah. Plus, Siakam, he's not used to playing a guy that can put the ball on the floor like Siakam can. Not only can he shoot the ball, but he can put the ball on the floor. And, Holmgren is more apt. He wants to protect the paint. And so he's going to be playing a guy that's really not trying to play with a guy 7 foot tall. He's not trying to play with his back to the basket. Yeah. He's trying to get you out of the perimeter. He's trying to drag you to the deep, drown you out there. Yeah. So it's a very interesting matchup, but let these two teams finish it off, and then we can have this conversation.